Hey guys, this is Captain Rex, and today I'm going to be doing the first episode of Star Wars News, where I'm just going to be talking about and sharing my thoughts on some of the new stuff that has happened in the world of Star Wars. So let's begin. So the first thing, they announced a lot of new shows and things coming to the Star Wars world. I'm not going to be talking about all of them, but I will be talking about some. And some of the more important ones. So first thing is the ObiWan Show. So we already knew about this, but we just have a bit more details. Hayden Christensen is returning to play Darth Vader, so it could be interesting to see what happens involving his role in the show, because it's about Obi-Wan, and I don't know if he hadn't encountered Obi-Wan before A New Hope, but we'll see what happens there. But I think this show has the potential to do, as good or even better than The Mandalorian. You got a lot of big actors, and Obi-Wan is a very beloved character, so I think the show is going to do really good, and I think it's going to be a really good show, and the hype just keeps getting bigger and bigger for it. Next up, or also in the Obi-Wan Show, we could possibly see some Boba Fett, maybe. I'm not sure. We could, maybe, because he's in the Mando, and I think he's working for Jabba the Hutt around that time, so we could see him maybe try to track down Obi-Wan or something. That could be interesting. Next is the Ahsoka show. So I expected this because obviously they brought her into live action in The Mandalorian, so the show is going to take place right after The Mandalorian. So from The Mandalorian, we heard that she is searching for Grand Admiral Thrawn, so maybe we could follow her on her journey searching for Grand Admiral Thrawn. That's going to be interesting, since we never seen him in live action either, so we'll see how that goes. I'm actually very excited for that one. Maybe some of the people from the Rebels will come into live action, like Ezra Bridger and Sabine. Maybe they might be coming in to help Ahsoka too, which could be very cool, and The Mandalorian just kind of set that show up for what it is going to be. Next is the Cassian Andor show. So I think this is going to be a good show. If you're a fan of Rogue One, and I think Rogue One was really good. It just brought you back to that time of the Empire versus the Rebellion that we hadn't seen for a while because of the sequel trilogy and stuff. And that movie was just so good, and I think it's going to be cool to expand on that time period in the Star Wars universe and kind of get the story of a person in the rebellion, and I think it's going to be really cool because those days are good. So yeah, it maybe could tie into the Obi-Wan show. It's going to be in that time period, but it's probably not likely going to. So next up is the next animated Star Wars show, which is coming in 2021. We have The Bad Batch. So it's probably just gonna be a mini series, probably not that long, but it's definitely gonna feel a lot like the Clone Wars, and I'm really excited for this one because in the trailer we saw the formation of the Galactic Empire, so we could see what happens if the Bad Batch decides to go with the Empire or fight against them. So it's probably gonna be going right off where their story left off after that episode in the Clone Wars. So that is gonna be a very interesting show, and I think it's gonna be very good, and maybe as good as the Clone Wars. And the last thing I'm gonna talk about is the new movie, which isn't coming up for a few years, which is Rogue Squadron. So I kind of expected a movie like this. They just brought out the Star Wars Squadrons game, so I'm not very surprised. They could use elements from that, but I think it's gonna be a cool story because the Rogue Squadron is a very iconic thing, and they haven't really shown a lot of spotlight on them, and I think it's gonna be a cool fighter pilot. We'll get a lot of action in space and stuff. And also brings you back to the original trilogy area timeline. So we're getting a lot of shows around that time, which I'm really excited for. And I hope that they all work out. And I think all these shows are going to be good. Probably the one that'll do the least good, maybe the Andor show. I'm not sure, but it's gonna be interesting to see how all these do. But my bets is on the ObiWan show. That's gonna be like a big thing, like very big. So hopefully a lot does happen in that. Like if all these shows are as good as the Mandalorian, like Star Wars kind of like went down, like didn't do that good after the sequel trilogy, but the Mandalorian kind of brought some of that back. So hopefully, like fingers crossed, these shows will be as good and bring back more of that feeling of like, wow, this is Star Wars. This is amazing. So thank you guys all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and goodbye, everybody.